Surprise endings and plot twists. That's the way I would describe this full moon in Sagittarius at 13 degrees. Welcome back to my channel, my friends. We are going to be covering the full moon in Sagittarius at 13 degrees. It is unfolding on June 3rd. This full moon comes in very interesting with odd details that it offers for all of us. At 13 degrees in Sagittarius, the sun is going to be in Gemini at 13 degrees. Now, the sun in Gemini, this is a time when we are in Gemini season, we are going to be focusing a lot on communication and connection. This is a time where we feel a lot more social, or there is some kind of writing, reading, some kind of documentary, some kind of, speech involved. This is also a time where we're involved in mindset and how we are thinking. Now, with the moon in Sagittarius at 13, this is when we're taking a look at our belief, sarcasm, philosophy, travel. This is a time when we are, really disconnecting from anything too serious, but we're also diving more into what is there to find out, okay? We're seeking some kind of either truth, adventure. We're seeking something more, all right? This full moon is going to be at 13 degrees. 13 degrees is a very interesting degree. The 1 stands for the self. The 3 stands for some kind of movement forward from the past situation that we're drawing in, but we're also moving forward, okay? The 3 also has a lot of other meanings to it. I'm just trying to make it a little bit shorter so that you guys understand what the 13 kind of sums. It sums up to a 4, and that is when we're dealing definitely with a situation that brings a shock value to it. 4 comes with a shock value because it is ruled by Uranus. And so this is going to be a time where I think there is a surprising element. And of course, we also see this in the chart because at the time of this full moon, Mercury and Uranus are coming closer together into this conjunction with each other, which they will be at 20 degrees later. But at the time of the full moon, they already are together. They're only just a degree apart here. And so with Mercury and Uranus in the mix, this is a surprise and a plot twist. This is some kind of communication that comes up that has a shock value to it. And of course, this particular full moon is ruled by a degree that comes with some kind of a breakdown. It comes with something that interrupts our day-to-day. Now, what kind of interruption, right? I think that the type of interruption that we're taking a look at, it has a lot to do with some kind of entertaining story. And it has to do with something we weren't aware of before, some kind of communication that might even come through via text message, something that you're reading, something that you're watching in the news, on social media especially. This could be like, something that comes up that you had no awareness about and you find it super entertaining now. The stuff that you're reading about, there's a sense of humor behind it, or making fun of the situation that comes along with that, whoever you're talking to. And it involves relationship dynamics. And the reason I say that is because there's also a very interesting trine that is happening at the time of this full moon, and that is happening between Venus and Neptune. So there is some type of relationship dynamic that comes up here now, where relationships are involved in the mix of whatever the news are, whatever the surprises, whatever the shocking news are. And it's a little bit exaggerated, okay? There is some kind of dramatic sort of exaggeration behind all of that because Jupiter, the ruler of this moon, is going to be in a conjunction with the North Node. Jupiter is at 4 degrees in Taurus. So something that had value before no longer has the same value. Some relationship dynamic that is shifting at this time, and things are starting to maybe make more sense in the next phase of the story. That is what I'm seeing that this full moon kind of brings with it. The other thing that I'm seeing here with this Venus trine to Neptune is that there could be some kind of love affair story that comes up, okay? Some kind of love affair that is happening in the background. Nobody knew about it, or it is unfolding and kind of comes up now it kind of is revealed amongst a group of people because the degrees are high. We have Venus in Cancer at 28. This is a lot of passion, it's a lot of devotion. This is sort of a lot of feelings of like, who would I be without you? You know, this is like a love story that comes out of nowhere, and it's, you know, unusual because of the Uranus flare that is inside of this full moon. And so this trine that Venus is making to Neptune in Pisces at 27, it's sort of like, you know, it hits home or something. There's something about whatever the story is that comes up with all this passion, almost like ecstasy is the word that comes to my mind. You know, I don't know, like maybe you're just kind of just checked out with this love story or this love affair, and you book that trip and you go see this person, and or you kind of escape with this person to some vacation, and you know, it just kind of unfolds from there. There's sort of a shocking, let's get up and let's do this thing that comes with it, or news that is revolving around, you know, relationships, and then there's text messages that are flying around because nobody knew about this, you know. And so there is sort of this kind of a flare now. The other aspect I do want to talk about with this full moon is that it is making another interesting trine, and that is happening to Mars. Mars is at 8 degrees. Mars in Leo, this is a time when we are feeling confident with the decisions that we're making. And at 8 degrees, it is a decision. It involves some kind of decision making where money is involved in it as well. For some of you, this is going to be that kind of a situation. Something comes up, and over the next 2 weeks, you're like, I got to book this trip. I have to go to this class. My passion is reignited and I have to go take action on this. So there's a sense of excitement and a sense of action that does come with this. But ultimately, it starts with you just making this decision because something in the day-to-day just feels like I've been waiting for too long and I can't wait anymore. I got to get up and just do this thing because something breaks down in the sense that you want it to feel different, or it feels different. And that is what full moons are all about, because if you're new to astrology, full moons come with some kind of a breakdown to a breakthrough. They don't have to be anything major, you know, it's just a moment where you just have to like come to terms with doing something. And so this can involve travel, this can involve, you know, relationships that are involved with this travel, or some kind of involvement where there is entertainment involved behind it as well. Now, at the same time, this moon is going to be forming a trine to Chiron at 18 degrees. And so a part of us just realizes that if we don't do this thing right now, will we ever make a decision that is going to be spontaneous like this ever again? Will we do it? You know, should I or should I not? And before you like go back and forth, maybe in the past, Chiron and Aries, your individual self, your sense of self, in the past, you would have not made a decision like that. You would have not taken a risk. But now you realize that things are shifting, your mindset is shifting, you want to do things very differently, and you just have to overcome this, you know, stupid little fear that is constantly talking to you. And so there is this Mars in Leo that is basically just saying, you know, it's time for you to do things differently. And yes, you can feel confident, you know, you can feel confident to go to this party. You can feel confident to go and connect to your life and people and relationships in a, you know, new way. And so I think that there is sort of a fun aspect behind this as well. The other very fascinating aspect about this particular full moon that I think we're going to be dealing with over the next 2 weeks is that at the time of the full moon, there is a square that is being formed between Mars, Jupiter to Pluto. This is an aspect, I think, where there could be a situation, or the downside of this full moon is there could be a situation that comes up where we feel overpowered or we feel burned out. And this burnout is sort of running in the background. So what's so interesting is that something gets exaggerated, some kind of news comes out, something shocking, and yet at the same time, it reminds us of this moment where the decisions that we're making are to kind of escape this burnout or escape this situation that feels like it is trying to overpower or take over. And so there is sort of this moment of realizing, okay, I want to do things very differently. And I think that there is sort of an interesting aspect here because Saturn is at 7 degrees in Pisces. It is going to be stationing to go retrograde at 7 degrees later. However, at the time of the full moon, it is still direct. And I think that there is a moment where we're realizing that we have to sort of lean into situations right now where we have to trust that we can work things out, where we are trusting that something right now is the right thing for us to focus on. It's the right kind of energy to pour ourselves into or to focus on or to walk towards. There's sort of a sobering of that is happening, even though there is all of these other things that are happening that is exciting and it kind of changes things. It changes your mindset, changes your beliefs. At the same time, I think we are going to be in this place where I think we're starting to realize we have to mature with our faith and what we're pouring our energy into. This is becoming increasingly important. And in order not to be burned out by things that distract us so much to the point that it keeps us in the same exact story. Should we stay in the same exact story, in the same exact mindset, or should we do that thing that usually we're afraid to do? And to kind of disconnect now from the same old story. Now let's dive into what it means for your sign. For Aries and Aries rising, this is going to be happening between your 9th and your 3rd house. This is a really good time of really expanding your mind and ending things where you feel like you can't think freely. And there might be some kind of travel involved. There might be some kind of course involved, some kind of learning curve here that involves you taking a risk, so that you can end some kind of old pattern in the way in which you were relating, some kind of shocking news that comes up that then wants you to kind of approach this differently, okay? With a part of you that is going to lean into situations that feel new. And I think that you're going to welcome this energy because, you know, the Page of Pentacles is the card that I drew for you, for everybody on the podcast. This is sort of like you are truly approaching your life from a different angle. You might also be coming back from a trip and you're starting to realize you've made all these epiphanies, and now you're going to apply that new emotional value that you learned into your life in a way where it frees you, it liberates you, you think differently, and you are thinking more freely. And I think that that is what is opening up for you guys with this full moon and Sagittarius. Moving to Taurus and Taurus rising, this is going to be happening between your 8th and your 2nd house. At this time, what you're ending is old stories that are unfolding with productivity and money and self-worth. This will also tie into any kind of money that you're sharing with somebody else or trust. This has a lot to do with trust. There's something that comes up here, exciting news that come up where you start to realize that your life is heating back up. There's some kind of passion that might be coming into your life, maybe even a relationship dynamic where, you know, you feel like this is a new value, 6 of Wands. I mean, you are exploring a new sense of self with this particular relationship. And as a result, it upgrades value. And maybe something new is being bought over the next 2 weeks. Really exciting stuff here. Gemini and Gemini rising, this is going to be happening between obviously your 1st house, that's where the sun is at, and then the 7th house, that's where the relationship dynamics are with this full moon in Sagittarius. So there is some shocking news that comes up with relationship dynamics, business partnerships, any kind of agreements, and this is gonna let you move forward with plans that you've had, but there is a plot twist to it, and this plot twist requires for you to have a little bit of courage of just kind of doing something brand new on your own. Not that you're afraid of this, but I think it could be like a little bit of this, okay, this is new, you know, I'm gonna have to do this on my own. Not a road that you have traveled before. So definitely watch out for that, Gemini. Moving on to Cancer and Cancer rising. This is happening between the house of faith, the 12th house, and the 6th house, the house that I call the obstacle course, okay? This is the house where you're really paying attention to your routines. So there is something that is coming up here at this time where your routine is being changed, and you are going to welcome this at this time, okay? What is coming to an end here in the 6th house, I think for many of you, is that you are now taking on a new approach to your day-to-day, or there's something that is happening that could be changing the way in which you are approaching your organization or your day-to-day, and things are being switched up. It's more exciting. There could be some kind of collaboration even that is coming here into the 6th house with Sagittarius. And the Magician basically says, like, don't be afraid, things are going to be going even better than what you expected. The Magician is a strong card. It is truly a new beginning that is unfolding for you in your day-to-day, and you're going to have faith in it. And that is what I think the positive thing is for you, Cancer. Moving to Leo and Leo rising, this is going to be happening in your social house and also in the house of having fun. So truly a very exciting time for many of you. What is coming to an end is as though that there is a certain aspect, I think, in your life that you are right now taking a look at, where certain social gatherings or social situations you are going to be ending so that you can really have fun in your life again in a way that suits you. Yes, we drew the Devil card for you, Leo. We're not making this up. There is something that I think you are going to be ending that feels like it is overpowering you, feels like it has even some kind of addictive sort of value to it, okay? Not that you might be addicted to it, but there could be scenarios or relationship dynamics that kind of bring this weird emotion with it, and all of a sudden you are getting this now. And I think that that is a very positive thing that is shifting in your life, because you are going to be switching up the definition of fun in your life and also just filling your heart in a different kind of a way. For Virgo and Virgo rising, what is ending at this time for you has to do a lot with your career and your home life, things that you feel like you're comfortable with. There is a certain way in which you are wanting to operate with your career at this time, and some things are going to be falling away. I think that there is some kind of shocking and new and also entertaining news that you're going to be getting or receiving, or you're going to hear about this from bosses, from people in your life that are part of maybe your work environment. And so now as a result of it, you're just starting to realize you're on the right path. I think that that is more likely what this full moon is bringing you, that at this time you are on the right path. Your intuition is guiding you. This is a huge validation moment, I think. And I also would say that this particular full moon is bringing some exciting news into your home, okay? There's some kind of gathering, some kind of fun environment that you are going to be a part of, where maybe even people are coming over to your home. If you're hosting a party, like, great time for entertainment, okay? That's what I'm seeing here with the Page of Cups. I think there's a part of you that's just opening up in a brand new way for new comfort levels, but it also ties into how, things are unfolding in your career right now as a result of it. So there is some thing here that you are breaking through, that work doesn't always have to take over your life. That's what I'm seeing for many of you. Now for Libra and Libra rising, this is going to be happening between your 9th and 3rd house. This is truly a very exciting time. I think many of you are going to be focusing on expanding in the way in which you're thinking about your life, but also in the way in which you're communicating to people. I think that there is going to be a moment here of realizing that, you can open yourself up to new perspectives. And I think that there's also a shock value here of realizing that certain people are maybe portraying themselves in a way that you are now realizing why they do it in the way that they do, because relationships are attached to this full moon. And you're realizing and getting validation what you need to focus on, how you need to think, what you actually need at this time. Beautiful full moon energy. I think over the next 2 weeks, you are also going to get huge validation of taking the risk, get up and go connect, go out there, live your life, and break up the norm. I think that is what the message of this particular full moon is for you. Moving to Scorpio and Scorpio rising, this is happening between your money and your productivity house. For many of you, what is ending at this time is something that just doesn't make any more sense financially. It doesn't bring you any value. It doesn't make any sense. And you're going to open up the door of bringing a new money conversation into the, but first there is some kind of news that you're receiving here that will tie into relationship dynamics. Some of it will have to do with you. I think some of it will not. It could involve other people that are part of joint resources, part of, you know, any kind of money conversation in your life. But what is ending here at this time is that you are going to choose to move forward in a particular way when it comes to money, and your day-to-day is changing. Yep, you're putting yourself into the position of feeling like you are in control of a certain money aspect in your life, and you are going to be in charge of this particular aspect either again or in a new way. And I think that that is what the beautiful piece is to this full moon for you, Scorpio. Moving on to Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. Right now, you're rebooting yourself. That is what is really happening. There's a lot of things that are coming to the end when it comes to relationships and how they were, what they've shown you, people you can lean into, people you can't lean into. And right now, you are rebooting sort of what it means to live your life again. There is a revitalizing of energy that is unfolding. And look at this beautiful, the Fool card came out, is a new chapter truly. For many of you, I do see that you are going to be going somewhere where you're going to get a lot of sort of signs that you are choosing the right thing for you at this time. I think that is what this particular full moon is bringing to you as well at this time. Moving on to Capricorn and Capricorn rising, this is going to really charge up and give you new energy when it comes to things that you believe in and how much meaning they have for you in your life and how they impact your day-to-day. There's an excitement that needs to come back into the picture, and I think that that is what is happening now. You're finding the missing piece. That is what I keep wanting to say to you here. You're finding the missing piece to something that emotionally used to fill you up, didn't for a while, and now you're coming full circle. King of Cups basically says what is coming to an end at this time is a specific faith or belief or the meaning of certain things in your life that, you know, you just realize they are coming to an end, you know, just closing the chapter and opening up a new one. And this new chapter has to do with you doing new things in the day-to-day, and that is what's being shown over the next 2 weeks. And I think for many of you, this will have to do with a much less approach where you feel drained. That's another thing I want to say to you. Okay, Capricorn rising, I think there is going to be a very nice shift where there is some kind of an ease and also excitement and a new way in which you can approach your day-to-day responsibilities. And I think that is what's being shown to you over the next 2 weeks. Moving on to Aquarius and Aquarius rising, this is going to be happening in your social reputation, friend circle, and also your heart's desire. What's really ending is a huge chapter that used to influence the outcome, even for money, for many of you, okay? This has a lot to do with the way in which I think people viewed you. There's sort of a change and also an exciting time that is pouring back into you looking around and realizing, you know, you have a new friends circle or a new social circle or a new way in which now, you know, your social reputation is evolving and your heart feels happy with that. Now, the spiritual advice card for you is the Star card. It's a time of healing for you, Aquarius, big time, okay? It's a time of you feeling like you can believe in your life in this kind of a way again, or a new way, and it inspires you, okay? It brings your life, you know, back alive. I mean, that's what I really want to say to you. Really exciting time for you, Aquarius. For Pisces and Pisces rising, your career and your home life at this time is sort of bringing some shocking news to you in your job. And as a result of it, you are going to be changing some aspects in your home. Now, what are these aspects, right? I think it's just you realizing that your career at this time gives you a lot of emotional satisfaction, but you need to end something, some kind of involvement with work or some even kind of administrative work that is coming to an end here. And you're realizing it's going to free up a lot more time with home and family, and you just feeling like you can have fun in this area of your life again. And I think that is going to be welcomed. Might even be that you are going to be working out of your house now and you're building out a studio or something like that. And the World card is basically saying, you know, this aspect of your life is coming to an end. And over the next 2 weeks, you are going to be starting this new adventure to feel like you're home again. And there is some kind of time that is being freed up. And that's what I'm seeing for you, Pisces. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Again, if you like this video, always give me a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell. I will see you guys in the comments below this video. Let me know how things are unfolding, and I'm going to see you back here in the next episode. Bye.